There is a profound and ancient connection between humanity and water. We are drawn to its shimmering surfaces, its promise of life and sustenance. We build our cities on its banks, we sail its vast expanses, and we seek solace in its gentle rhythms. But beneath the tranquil facade of even the most serene lake, there often lies a world of secrets, a realm of deep, dark mystery that challenges our understanding of the natural world. These are not just simple bodies of water. They are archives of geological time, cradles of unique life, and sometimes, silent witnesses to events we cannot explain. It might seem unlikely, but the world's many lakes are in fact some of the most unusual, unexplained, and deadly natural phenomena on the planet. They hold stories within their depths, tales of creatures that defy belief, chemical compositions that border on the alien, and histories stained by tragedy and disappearance. These are places where the ordinary rules of nature seem to bend, where the water itself behaves in ways that baffle scientists and give birth to legends that are passed down through generations, whispered on the shorelines under the light of a full moon. In this journey, we will pull back the curtain of the commonplace and peer into the abyss. We will explore places where the laws of life and death are rewritten, and where the very ground can swallow an entire body of water without a trace. From unheard-of yet natural events to countless human disappearances and even bodies of water which suddenly vanish and reappear again, here are 10 of the most mysterious lakes out there. Our journey begins in the vast, windswept landscapes of Kazakhstan, at a place whose name alone sends a shiver down the spine, the Dead Lake. Locals call it Kindy, but its more ominous title is grimly earned. The water here is so frigid, so starkly clear, that it seems to resist life itself. Algae, the very foundation of most aquatic ecosystems, cannot gain a foothold. Fish are entirely absent from its depths. It is a sterile, silent world, beautiful in its desolation, but utterly devoid of the vibrant life we associate with such places. The lake's reputation is further darkened by a tragic history. Over the years, an unnerving number of people have met their end in its icy embrace, a rate of drownings that seems disproportionately high for its modest size. Locals whisper tales of a malevolent spirit or an unseen force that pulls swimmers down into the cold. While these are stories born of folklore and grief, the palpable sense of unease one feels at the water's edge is undeniable. It is as if the lake itself mourns, its stillness, a heavy, perpetual silence for those it has claimed. Perhaps the most haunting feature of Dead Lake is its submerged forest. In 1911, a massive limestone landslide likely triggered by an earthquake sent a torrent of rock and earth tumbling down, creating a natural dam. The valley behind it flooded, and an entire grove of proud Schrenk spruce trees was drowned. But the extreme cold of the water has preserved them. They stand today as they did a century ago, their bare, ghostly trunks rising from the depths like the skeletal fingers of a forgotten world, their needles still clinging to the branches in the frozen stillness, a silent, submerged army guarding the secrets of the Dead Lake. Nestled high in the Sierra Nevada mountains, straddling the border of California and Nevada, lies Lake Tahoe. It is a jewel of impossible blue, a vast expanse of pristine, cold water famed for its clarity and breathtaking beauty. Millions flock here for recreation, drawn to its stunning vistas and alpine air. But this popular paradise hides a much darker and more mysterious side beneath its glittering surface. For decades, whispers and legends have swirled around what lies in its deepest, most inaccessible trenches, far from the sunlit shores. One of the most enduring legends is that of Tessie, a Loch Ness-style monster said to inhabit the lake's depths. While sightings remain anecdotal, the lake's more concrete mysteries are arguably more chilling. During the Prohibition and mob-run casino era of the 20th century, Lake Tahoe became a rumored dumping ground for the mafia. Stories abound of rivals and informants, fitted with concrete shoes, being sent to their final resting place in the lake's abyssal plain, their secrets forever silenced by the immense pressure and cold. The extreme depth and near-freezing temperatures at the bottom of Lake Tahoe create a perfect state of preservation. It's a grim reality that has led to persistent rumors of a graveyard of perfectly preserved bodies from various eras, from drowned boaters of the 19th century to the aforementioned mob victims. The famed oceanographer Jacques Cousteau explored the lake in the 1970s, and upon surfacing he was uncharacteristically shaken. He famously stated, "The world isn't ready for what I saw. and refused to release any footage from the deepest parts of his dive. His cryptic words have fueled speculation ever since, leaving us to wonder what horrors he witnessed in the deep, dark, silent world at the bottom of Lake Tahoe. Deep within the Caucasus Mountains of Russia lies a body of water that defies simple explanation. The Tsarik Kel, or Blue Lake, is a small, unassuming karst lake, but its placid surface conceals one of the world's deepest and most dangerous underwater cave systems. Its water possesses a unique and startling chemistry, saturated with hydrogen sulfide, which gives it a brilliant turquoise hue, but also a distinct, unpleasant smell, hinting at the strange geological processes occurring far below. The true mystery of Blue Lake is its depth. For years, scientists have tried to find its bottom, deploying submersibles and sonar equipment, but the lake refuses to give up its secrets. It is fed not by any river or stream but by a powerful network of unseen subterranean springs, creating a constant upward flow. The deepest confirmed measurement is over 279 meters, making it one of the deepest karst lakes on Earth. But it is widely believed that the main shaft of the cave system plunges much, much deeper into the planet's crust, into a realm completely unexplored by humankind. This alluring mystery has also made it a place of tragedy. In 2012, a highly experienced cave diver named Martin Robson attempted to set a new world depth record here. He descended into the abyss, but something went terribly wrong. He lost consciousness deep within the cave system, and though his support team managed a miraculous rescue, he tragically passed away days later from complications. His fate serves as a stark reminder that Blue Lake is not just a scientific curiosity, it is a profoundly dangerous and unforgiving environment, a gateway to an underworld that actively resists human intrusion. In the Tver Oblast region of western Russia, there is a lake steeped in folklore that stretches back centuries, Lake Brosno. According to local legend, this tranquil body of water is home to a monstrous dragon-like creature. Tales passed down through generations describe a beast with a long neck and a reptilian head, a creature said to have terrorized ancient invaders, including the Tatar-Mongol army in the 13th century, whose horses allegedly refused to drink from the lake before the beast emerged and overturned their camp. These stories have persisted into the modern era. Fishermen and locals have reported seeing a massive, dark shape moving beneath the surface, and some have even produced grainy photographs and videos purporting to show the Brosno dragon. The legend has become so ingrained in the local culture that it has attracted numerous amateur investigators and cryptozoologists over the years, all hoping to be the one to finally prove the existence of this ancient beast, a relic from a time of myth and magic surviving in the cold Russian waters. However, scientists offer more prosaic, yet equally fascinating explanations for the phenomenon. The lake's floor is marked by deep geological faults. It is theorized that the monster sightings could be caused by massive gas bubbles, likely hydrogen sulfide, erupting from these faults. As a large bubble rises, it could violently disturb the surface, creating a dome of water that, from a distance, might be mistaken for the head and back of a large animal. Another theory suggests that groups of beavers, or even large mutant pike, could be the culprits. Whether it's a dragon or geology, something unusual is certainly happening in the depths of Lake Brosno. In the state of Oregon, there is a lake that performs an astonishing vanishing act every single year. Lost Lake, nestled within the Mount Hood National Forest, appears as a normal, serene body of water for much of the year. It fills with water during the wet winter and spring months, reflecting the tall pines and the vast Oregon sky on its placid surface, inviting kayakers and hikers to its picturesque shores. But as summer arrives and the rains cease, something truly remarkable happens. The lake begins to drain, not through evaporation and not through a visible outlet stream, but through a hole in the lake bed. A continuous gurgling vortex forms like a bathtub drain being unplugged, and the entire lake is slowly, inexorably swallowed by the earth. By the end of the dry season, all that remains is a lush green meadow where a 79-acre lake once stood. It is a magical, almost unbelievable transformation, a seasonal spectacle of nature that has baffled visitors for generations. The secret to this disappearing act lies deep underground. The lake sits atop a landscape shaped by ancient volcanic activity. The drain hole is, in fact, an open lava tube, a hollow tunnel formed by flowing lava thousands of years ago. This tube is part of a vast, uncharted network of subterranean passages that riddle the region's volcanic rock. The water of Lost Lake simply flows down this natural drain pipe, seeping back into the porous ground to recharge the very aquifers that will eventually feed the springs that help refill it the following winter. It is a beautiful cyclical mystery, solved by geology, but no less wondrous to behold. For centuries, a terrifying anomaly existed in Central America. Lake Nicaragua, a vast freshwater sea, was home to a population of aggressive sharks. These were not river sharks adapted to low salinity. They appeared to be bull sharks, a species known for its coastal, saltwater habitat, and aggressive nature. Their presence so far inland, in a completely freshwater environment, was a profound biological mystery. How did they get there? And how did they survive? The local Rama people had stories of the sharks for generations, and they were a very real danger to fishermen and anyone who ventured into the water. The mystery deepened in the 1960s when scientists formally identified them as bull sharks, a species thought to be incapable of completing its entire life cycle in fresh water. The prevailing theory was that the sharks were a unique, landlocked subspecies, trapped in the lake thousands of years ago, when geological uplifts separated it from the Pacific Ocean, and had since evolved to live exclusively in fresh water. It wasn't until the 1970s that the puzzle was finally solved, and the truth was perhaps even more remarkable. A biologist named Thomas Thorson began tagging the sharks in Lake Nicaragua. To his astonishment, some of these tagged sharks were later caught by fishermen in the Caribbean Sea. He discovered that the sharks were not landlocked at all. They were leaping their way up the rapids of the San Juan River, like salmon, navigating nearly 200 kilometers of river to travel between the lake and the ocean. The Lake Nicaragua shark was not a separate species, but a transient population of bull sharks demonstrating a level of adaptability and determination that continues to astound science. On the island of El Malc in Palau, there is a marine lake that offers one of the most surreal and otherworldly experiences on Earth. It is known simply as Jellyfish Lake, and it's home to millions of golden jellyfish. For years, tourists could swim here, completely surrounded by a pulsating gelatinous cloud of life. The jellyfish, having been isolated in the lake for millennia with no natural predators, evolved to lose their stinging cells. To be immersed in their silent, gentle, rhythmic world was to feel as if you had floated into another dimension. This unique and delicate ecosystem is connected to the nearby ocean through a network of fissures and tunnels in the ancient limestone rock. The lake is stratified, with an oxygen-rich upper layer where the jellyfish live, and a lower anoxic layer saturated with hydrogen sulfide, which is deadly to divers. The jellyfish themselves perform a daily migration, following the arc of the sun across the lake, to nourish the symbiotic algae that live within their tissues and give them their golden hue, a beautifully synchronized dance of life on a grand scale. But in 2016, this magical world vanished. A severe El Niño event caused a drought and raised the lake's water temperature to unprecedented levels, and the jellyfish disappeared completely. The lake fell silent and empty, a tragic loss of a natural wonder. Scientists feared they were gone forever. But the ecosystem is resilient. The jellyfish had left behind polyps, a dormant stage of their life cycle, attached to the bottom of the lake. As conditions returned to normal, these polyps began to release new jellyfish, and miraculously, the population is now rebounding. The lake's story is a powerful, poignant reminder of both the fragility and the incredible resilience of life. On the floor of the Albertine Rift Valley in Uganda, within Queen Elizabeth National Park, lies a landscape pockmarked by the violent volcanic history of our planet. Here we find Lake Katwe, which fills a crater left behind by a massive explosion thousands of years ago. This is not a place of idyllic blue waters and lush green shores. Lake Katwe is a harsh, forbidding environment, a shallow, saline lake whose water is so concentrated with minerals that it is almost slick to the touch, and largely incapable of supporting aquatic life. The lake is fed by numerous hot springs that bubble up from deep within the earth, carrying a rich payload of dissolved salts and minerals. As the fierce equatorial sun beats down, the water evaporates, leaving behind even higher concentrations of these minerals. The result is a briny, alkaline soup. The air itself can be thick with the smell of sulfur, a constant reminder of the volcanic forces that still simmer just beneath the surface. It is a primeval landscape, one that feels more suited to early Earth than the present day. Despite its inhospitable nature, Lake Katwe has been a source of life and livelihood for the local community for centuries. For generations, people have practiced the grueling art of salt mining here, wading into the caustic water to harvest the precious mineral from evaporation pans carved into the mud. Today, it has also become a unique tourist destination, where visitors can witness this ancient tradition and learn about the incredible geology of the explosion craters. It stands as a powerful testament to the ability of life and human culture to adapt and find value in even the most extreme and seemingly desolate environments on the planet. Lake Berryessa, a vast reservoir in Northern California, was for decades a popular spot for boating and fishing, but in 2017, after years of drought followed by heavy rains, a terrifying and mystifying spectacle appeared in the middle of the lake. A gigantic, swirling vortex, a hole nearly 22 meters in diameter, opened up in the water, sucking down water, debris, and anything that drifted too close with incredible force. Drone footage of the phenomenon went viral, captivating and horrifying millions around the world. To the public, it was a complete mystery. Speculation ran wild. Was it a geological sinkhole, a gateway to another dimension? The sight of the massive, perfectly circular hole draining the lake was both mesmerizing and deeply unsettling. A palpable sense of danger surrounded the area. Buoys and ropes were put in place to warn boaters away from the powerful whirlpool, which generated a roar that could be heard from the shore. The event even tragically claimed a life in 1997 when a swimmer was pulled into the vortex. The explanation, however, is not supernatural, but a marvel of engineering. The hole is a man-made spillway, known officially as a Bellmouth spillway but more colloquially as the Glory Hole. It was built as part of the Monticello Dam in the 1950s. It acts as an overflow drain, designed to activate only when the lake's water level reaches a maximum height of 134 meters. Because of California's long drought, the water level had been too low for it to function for over a decade. Its sudden reappearance was simply the dam's safety feature working exactly as designed, a hidden giant reawakening after a long slumber. Our final destination takes us to the Caribbean island of Dominica, to a place that truly lives up to its name, the Boiling Lake. Tucked away in the Morne Trois Pitons National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, this is not a lake for swimming. It is a flooded fumarole. Our pars of Bakinskar and the Krakenkar Bakar. Crack in the Earth's crust that vents volcanic gas and steam directly into the water. The entire body of water, some 60 meters across, is in a constant state of turmoil, with grayish-blue water bubbling and churning as if in a giant cauldron. The temperature of the water at the edges is often near boiling, but the center, where the volcanic vent is most active, is a rolling, violent boil, perpetually shrouded in a thick cloud of steam. The air is heavy with the smell of sulfur, and the ground itself can be dangerously unstable. This is a direct, raw, and untamed display of the geothermal power that lies just beneath our feet. The lake's conditions are not static. Its water, level, and temperature can change dramatically and without warning, making any approach a calculated risk. The journey to the lake is an arduous, multi-hour trek through dense rainforest and the aptly named Valley of Desolation, a landscape scarred by volcanic vents and sulfurous streams. It's a pilgrimage into a primeval world. Tragically, the lake has claimed lives, with visitors falling victim to the scalding water or toxic gases. The Boiling Lake is a humbling and terrifying reminder that there are still places on our planet that are utterly wild, places of immense power and danger that command our utmost respect, where the earth itself breathes fire and steam. From the submerged, skeletal forests of Kazakhstan to the boiling volcanic heart of Dominica, we have journeyed to the edges of our understanding. We have seen how lakes can be both cradles of life and silent tombs, how they can perform magical vanishing acts, and how they can hide creatures and phenomena that challenge our perception of the natural world. These 10 lakes are but a small sample of the countless mysteries that lie hidden within the waters of our planet. They are places where myth and science intersect, where folklore is born from startling geological truths. Each one serves as a powerful reminder that for all our exploration and scientific advancement, our world remains a place of profound wonder and deep secrets. They show us that there are forces at play, both beautiful and terrifying, that are far greater than ourselves. The allure of these mysterious lakes lies not just in the stories they tell, but in the questions they leave unanswered. What really did Cousteau see in the depths of Tahoe? What other strange adaptations are occurring in isolated ecosystems we have yet to discover? These questions fuel our curiosity, our innate human desire to explore, to understand, and to connect with the wildness that still exists on Earth. They compel us to look beyond the surface, to appreciate the immense complexity and power of our planet, and to remember that just beneath the calmest of waters, an entirely different world, full of secrets, is always waiting to be discovered. The next time you stand by the shore of any lake, take a moment to wonder what stories its depths might hold.